Stan and Nicole, this is, we've been talking about the brand new 21 Pilots music. We absolutely love. And Tyler, look at this. You're right here to talk about it. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to talk. This is my first interview over the webs. So
Seriously?
Yeah. Do you have a high level of concern? Are you going to be okay?
I'm pretty concerned right now.
Yeah, I think you might have overdressed for it there.
Yeah, I tried to really show up for you guys. I see you guys don't really care, so whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel really bad. Like
this is actually the jacket I got married in.
And was your little baby going? I mean, Rosie, she looks like a little munchkin.
She is cute. My wife and I have talked. Do we think she's cute just because she's ours? It'll be this forever question we're never sure of. And people saying things like you just said kind of makes us think maybe she's actually cute, but we'll never know.
What's one of the cool things that she's doing right now? Anything cool? I mean, I know when they're just a couple months old, they're sort of a blob, but
yeah, she's just like a ball of skin right now. But I think she's able to mimic me. I make a noise. It's just a silly like "g" noise, and she can kind of make that. And then my wife rolls her tongue, and she makes that at her. So right now, that's our names. I'm good, and she's drr, so.
Go, Rosie, you go.
She's obviously in the video. Her first big debut. Was she a natural or was she resistant?
Oh, she was a natural. So when I wrote the treatment for that music video, that was like the first scene that came up in my head, and then I built everything else around it. And that scene was when the lights kick on. My daughter's eyes blink, like she just thinks that it's ridiculous that we're doing that, and it worked great.
You said that you're wearing what you got married in.
I think so.
Okay, I hope you think so.
Yeah.
I just want to know, is Josh married? Did Josh just run away and secretly get married? Because he was wearing a wedding ring in that video, so I just it caught my eye, and I was like, what's going on here? Ah, okay. All right, cool. I like it. All right.
No answer.
Hey, okay. Hey, Tyler. One of the things, first of all, amazing video. Over 17 million views so far. Very creative. Very now. I love it. But here's what I wanted to know. Do you guys really live next to one another? Have houses next to one another?
No, we don't actually live next to each other. But, well, you know what? It'd probably be a better story if I told you we did.
No, the truth.
Let's go with it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we live right next to each other. We're sick of each other. We don't want to see each other anymore. We only talk when it has to do with music. So we don't even like each other.
So was level of concern something you were already kind of working on before the whole quarantine, or one day did just the whole thing come to you and you decide we got to get it out now?
No, that happened naturally. I didn't have that one in the hopper ready to go. Actually, my mom made a comment to me in passing as kind of all the news was breaking about the virus. And she just said, man, I could really use kind of an upbeat song right now to distract me from all this. And I guess that speaks to the danceability of the track. And I didn't want to be too on the nose with the lyrics. So I wanted to pair it with another true story, which is when I first met my wife, I was ready to date her. I was ready to dive right in, and she was a little more hesitant. And not to compare a pandemic with the uncertainties of a relationship, but in that moment for someone who maybe isn't getting, their feelings reciprocated in their world, it does kind of feel like starting to bubble over and become a little anxious. So I wanted to kind of pair those two stories and move them down the lane at the same time so that maybe the song could survive when all this is over too.
We are in the middle of a pandemic, and it's really, really hard, and we're all trying to, just push through together. But I thought it was so amazing that you guys are donating a portion of the profits from the song to some of the people that would be working, maybe like on tour or backstage, that people that are out of work right now, because that's a lot of people's cases right now.
Yeah, I mean, we know, Josh and I know so many people that we've been on tour with. We're supposed to be on the road right now. I mean, like, this is such a weird thing for us to be home for such a long period of time. We started this thing saying we want to go out and play as many shows as we can. We'll play for anyone, do any type of show. And through that journey, the past 10 years almost now, we've met so many great men and women who travel with us and tour with us. And right now their worlds, just like a lot of people's worlds, are just kind of uncertain, on hold. And kind of seeing Live Nation creating this charity, it just felt right, because we knew it was going to impact so many people that we knew directly.
And I saw too, it's not just the song. You guys also have some like 21 Pilots merch that you can buy and help out with too, right? Like I saw a couple hoodies.
Yeah, there's a hoodie on there. It says something about the crew, and you buy it, and it'll go to not just helping our crew, But just any touring crew, not just touring, but also these venues, these big arenas that are kind of like the pulse of a lot of cities that we go into. They hire a lot of people, man. It takes a lot of people to run a big building like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in a lot of those buildings and met a lot of those awesome people. And so it's for them too.
Hey, Tyler, since you've been quarantined with your wife, you're normally on tour. You guys are not only not together under these type of tight circumstances. What wonderful thing have you learned about your wife while being this close together?
Or horrible thing?
I know it's not like I want to get away from her, but walking down the driveway and back helps sometimes.
Yeah. Got to take a walk.
I got to take a walk. You already checked the mail today. I'm going to see if you came back.
I like that.
Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots, brand new music. They got it out. We're going to do more next on the morning. It's the mashup on Sirius XM Hits One. Tyler Joseph from 21 Pilots, nice enough to jump on with us. A brand new song, Level of Concern, that we absolutely love. And so we've all watched the video. We've all seen it. The thing that, it's obviously we're all doing stuff at home. It's a low budget, made at home video. So when you do this, now does it make you want to go out and spend a whole bunch of money on your next video? Or you're like, hey, I kind of like this. We're going to do it this way from now on.
Keep it simple.
I was telling Josh, man, I never want to spend a dime on the video again. That was so fun. It's how we did it when we started too. We grabbed a camera and just started filming ourselves playing music. We knew right away when we started making music that the video component and having content out there was going to be really important for things to start to gain some traction. And because of that, we have some really, beginning low budget amateur videos out there that we're still proud of. I think that a lot of big budget music videos kind of lose the sense of there just needs to be a simple story. There needs to be something to be said at the end, something maybe that catches you off guard. And something hopefully charming about it. And I love writing treatments for music videos. And it was a perfect opportunity where I guess in a sense the pressure wasn't there because, it's not like we're going to hire a big crew and, spend a bunch of money on it. And it was a moment for us to really kind of shine and get back to how we used to do it.
Now, I know obviously you guys are so close. You're in a group together forever. I saw that you tweeted something that made me laugh, and I need to know a little bit more about it. That you said you're getting dangerously close to having as many sleeping photos of your newborn daughter as you do of Josh. Is that a thing when you're on tour? You try to snap him? What is this all about?
He's the cutest when he's drumming and sleeping. It's just you can't compete with it. I don't know. Are you guys one of those people that take a ton of photos and then just leave them in? I mean, if I were to go into my wife's photo album on her phone, she's got 50 of the same photo. And then another 50 of the same photo.
All right.
So this is the first song, Level of Concern is kind of the first song that is born completely from the coronavirus and from the situation we're all going through. What do you see coming from other musicians as inspiration? Do you think it's going to be as upbeat? Because having something upbeat in such a tragic time was a little bit of a surprise for everybody. So do you think that that's the direction kind of music is going during this, or do you see a little more somber? What do you see from other artists coming?
Man, I mean, that's what's so beautiful about songwriting and music in general is that it can really be a mirror, a reflection of what's going on. So a lot of times it'll be a direct reflection or it'll be filling the gaps that are needed. And I think for this song in particular, there was, like I mentioned about my mom just mentioning, she just wanted something upbeat, something to distract her and something a little more hopeful. I think that in that sense, music can come in and kind of fill that void. But I also think there's going to be a lot of great art that comes out of this that is a direct reflection of some of the uncertainties and anxieties that people are feeling. Something I like to remind myself, especially in a time like this, is everyone's kind of going through a different version of it, their own version of it. I live in Ohio. Naturally, there's a little more space. Like I said, I could walk down my driveway and check my mail if I want. But I have some friends that live in big cities where they can't even leave their tiny apartment. And, I follow them on Instagram and they take a picture of their window every day. You know what I mean? And so that's when you're tied to such a small space like that, the anxiousness can really build on itself. And so just throughout this whole time, as I'm writing songs, I try to put myself in other people's shoes, realizing that everyone's going through a different version of this. And
what about for 21 Pilots? Are we going to see a more upbeat future for you guys?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I literally just let the wind take me. I go down in the studio in my basement and I play one sound and then build off of there and then it goes. I think that I've always been intrigued with this idea of pairing, maybe this upbeat, happy sound with some really catchy chords, and then lyrically kind of, I don't know, offsetting that with a little heavier of a message. I've always liked that paradox. So
I like that.
In this pandemic situation that we're all going through, we're all isolated. What did you find that you missed the most? What do you miss the most, Tyler?
I actually just asked a friend that. He said fast food. I don't know if I'm there. So you could still get fast food. It's just whether or not you trust the teenage kid to make it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the freedom to enjoy little things around you. I think interactions with neighbors and people that you see randomly. I think that anytime you go out, getting those essentials, there's this weird, I don't know, like game you play where I'm going to go down this aisle. Are you going down this aisle? Like, I got to make sure I don't go down your aisle. And I just hope that it doesn't change the way that we interact with even strangers. I think that there's, my grandfather who passed away a couple of years ago, one of his best qualities was he could strike up a conversation with anyone and really brighten their day. And it's something that I really admired about him. And I just hope that stuff doesn't leave.
Yeah.
Something that I saw, I don't know, I think it's true. That definitely brightened my day. If it is true, were you guys the answer on Jeopardy recently?
Yeah.
Was 21 Pilots the answer?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know why I'm doing an interview with you guys if I'm at that level.
I mean, you haven't made it until you're the answer to something on Jeopardy.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for doing this. And we want everyone to go out and get level of concern because we're helping out crew members that are out of work right now. So we think it's a really awesome thing. And thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, love you, man. Love to the family, baby.
Thanks, guys.